Howdy, it's Matt, and in this episode we are going to be taking a look at the insides of an ME109 Funfighter wooden model. Yes, I have wood! Brilliant! Now, I need to set the scene, is that this morning I went out to Costa, get my morning routine in, do a chunk of coding, make a really good dent for the day and plan out what I'm going to be doing. And then I get back home and look down the hallway and oh, there's a package. Oh, brilliant. It's the window wipers. We've had horrible weather here and one of the window wipers is gone on the car, and I bought two for the front, one for the back. I was going to, it only take 2 minutes to change, and I thought this is a nice package box, and it was all wrapped in brown paper and all taped up lovely, and I was thinking this is far too good for just some Bosch wipers, you know. Yeah, I know it was like 30 quid all in, but it was 25 quid, but anyway, I was thinking, this is a bit posh for some wipers. And anyway, I started opening up and, oh, hello. And with that, it was the Cambrian Model Company. Is that I saw this in... what was I looking up? I was looking up Funfighters for the video which I did a couple of days back on the Rare Bear. There's a link to the top right hand corner for that one. And when I was doing research for that, I found this, which is a Balsa and foam equivalent. Now, it's got foam cores inside the wings. We'll take a look at it in a moment. And it was 75 quid. So I didn't feel... I don't know how much a Balsa kit costs, you know, but I did see the finished product, and it did look very good. And by the way, apologies for my hoodie. I grabbed the Works hoodie this morning, and it's it's literally full into parts. Anyway, coming back to the kit. So I went for the ME109, and I want to do a massive thumbs up to Andrew Horseman. I put a link to his YouTube channel up there. He suggested going, there was a collection, there was a Spit, there was a Hurricane, there was another one and another one. Anyway, he suggested the ME109, and the reason why I suggested the 109 is because it's less likely to tipstall on you. So those of you which don't know this, and I'm sure those of you which already know this know to go really careful, is that with scale aircraft, is that the thing is that if you don't keep the pace up on them and you're coming slow into a turn, they will drop a wing on you, and I've had that unfortunately too many times, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like scale models, to be brutally honest, is that I class them as dirty wing droppers, because if you're not on the ball and you're not carrying enough pace in the turns, it will just do that and just drop into the ground. Anyway, Andy suggested going for the ME109 because it's much less likely to do that on me when I'm flying it, so that's happy days. I will be mildly overpowering this. When I say mildly, the suggested motor is a 35-36 1500 kV with, I think it was a 9-inch prop on 3S. I don't really have many 3S batteries here anymore, capable to go in a model like this, so we'll be running it on 4S on an 8x6 instead, and that should give it plenty of welly. Andrew also did send me a link to a video of these being flown at Weston-super-Mare last year. Again, I'll put a link to that in the top right hand corner so you can see how crazy these things are. And I'm really, anyway, let's get on to the meat of this, is that this is the first Balsa model I think I've ever bought. And I genuinely mean that. I had that little Balsa 3D thing here, which ended up going to the bin, but I think Banggood sent that to all their VIP users or whatever. I don't actually pay for that one. And I've used Balsa, or dead tree carcass, as Sir Ave would say, in many a model for surfaces, for example. But as far as a whole kit, no, never before. So just have a quick look, and we'll just go through the basics. Again, I have had a sneaky peek inside of the box. I don't apologise for that. We all like a little look at our wood every now and again. So, Cambrian Model Company, apparently there's two different model companies with very, very similar names which do very similar models. So I learned something new. Simple and easy to fly near scale model with a famous World War II fighter. I didn't even know it was a World War II fighter. I don't I have no interest in scale aircraft. All I care about is flying them fast, and does that. So is it a yes or a no? That's my simple equation. So yes, those of you who already know, the ME109 is an aircraft from the World War II. Looks like it was a German one at that. Who knew? Who knew? Like, this history stuff is not my cup of tea. Like I said, I'm only interested in flying models fast. So quick build kit containing veneered, oh yeah, you wait till you see this. Veneered foamed wings, pre-cut balsa and plywood parts, moulded canopy, accessories, full-size plan and destructions too. Brilliant. And I've got to be honest, this is one of those models which I will definitely be studying over the instructions for. I think just banging it together with a bit of glue, like no, it's not like a flying wing, you just glue it in the middle, it's just stuff it together, leave it in the beds and jobs are good in. I think this one needs perhaps a little bit more attention in there. So anyway, I do like this unboxing experience, and I'm so glad that I can share this with you. A piece of tissue paper. So what we got in here? I have to read these instructions. There's some instructions in there. There's loads. There's wood everywhere in this kit, to say the least. There's little bits in little bags. Look at that. How cute is that? It comes in little bags. Yeah, we get some fire hose, fiberglass. I don't know. I don't know why we've got that. It might go on the bottom. Again, I've not read the instructions. If you've built a Balsa model before, you may know why we got some fiberglass in there. I'm thinking the fuselage on the bottom, maybe to protect it. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't read the instructions yet. There's another little box or bag of bits, all nicely laid out. Someone really has spent some time, effort, and energy getting these things prepared. I don't even know where that goes. I'd guess it the nose somewhere. It's like a bloody great big jigsaw. We do have a nice big map with the parts, and like I said, this. Oh, hang on. What's this? Oh, look! When was the last time you saw a paper bag? Reminds me of going into a sweetie shop. Anyway, it's tissue, and it is a vacuum molded canopy, and also the air vents, or the exhausts. Should I get this right? The exhausts which go down the side. I frankly do not know if I will be using them. I do not know, so I'll stick those off to one side. We take a quick look at the plans. First impressions, this is way bigger. And I mean a country mile bigger than what I personally expected. If that's the size of the bloody wing, this is going to be fun. Yeah. Oh, mylar hinges, hate them. If it's just the little paper ones, they're shit. No apologies, I really don't like them. I may swap those over to some proper little hinges, which have got a hinge in the middle, rather than just a piece of crappy mylar. Not really impressed about that. If you look at the size of the fuselage down here, look, there's a Sharpie pen. It's many Sharpie pens long. Quite impressed. Looks like, again, they're showing full-size servos. I'm not entirely sure that I will be using full-size servos. I will need to check my servos box. Obviously, I won't be putting Tower Pro ones in here, but personally speaking, I will probably end up using Tower Pro, either 239, 238 servos, something like that. Plenty of torque, decent speed, and a good price as well. So I'm very, very unlikely, and again, that's a throttle servo which they've got there. So I don't know where the elevator. Oh, yeah, that one goes out, and that goes to the rudder. So yeah, I don't think I'll be using full-size servos. I'll be using slightly smaller ones, and yeah. Yeah, obviously we'll be aiming for 4 kilograms torque, by the way, just on the topic of servos. So yeah, that was quite surprising. We got nothing on the opposite side, so I'm just going to quickly roll this up, and that will be my destructions. I'll have to stick this on the wall or something just to keep myself on topic because it is one of those kits where, well, it's one of those models where you really, not joking around, need to read the instructions, because otherwise you just get pieces of wood with 10 written on it, and I got no idea where that goes. I did order at the same time the plastic spinner. I went for white. Give you an early heads up, there was, I think it was a Spitfire, may have been a Hurricane, which I saw on their site, and it was white, and I really liked that. So I checked underneath the desk. I have some white solar film, so this model will also will be finished white as well. Whether that's a mistake long term for visibility, nobody knows. But one thing for sure, it will not look like a traditional World War II or ME109. It will be white with some decals on there. Ideally, very high visibility ones, to say the least. Now, the one thing which I really wanted to show you is these wing cords, and it's really nice to see that they actually came pretty much pre-done, or that I would say the hard work has actually been done, which is put in the veneer. So take a look at that gorgeousness on there. Wooden veneer on top of a foam cord. So that needs to go that. So that's the right wing. So it goes around like that. And obviously we're missing a tip back. I don't know what we're doing about here. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a leading edge which needs to get put on. But it's nice to, still sharp, needs a bit of sanding. It looks like there's some glass fibre kicking around. I don't know if you can see that on my finger. It's absolutely coated in yeah, look, looks like glass fibre on there. So yeah, if you do buy this kit, make sure you give this a wipe down first with a rag, because that's, or it could just be the entrails off inside of the foam cores. But no, they do really look the part, to say the least. And I was a little bit concerned that I might end up having to like paper it, put PVA glue on it, then get the veneer on it. But it's nice to see that they've been and done that part of the task for me. Let's put these wings side by side so we get an idea on the size of it. And actually, it looked bigger. Oh, look, there is some camber in that. Don't know if you can see that. There's definitely dihedral is the word I was looking for. I said camber, but it was dihedral was the word I was looking for. Yeah. That is very curious indeed. This also now does raise a question: how the hell do we get a servo in there? There are holes in the middle. Pretty sure on those plans that it had servos out in the wings. Might be wrong, so that's a question mark. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice size model. What is it? I can't remember what on the specifications were. It's probably like a metre wingspan, something like that, finished. Anyway, let's get these parts back in here. So this was the Cambrian ME109. It's the first, like I said, the first wood model which I have ever purchased. I think in my time. And those of you which don't know the backstory to this is that I've only been flying for about a year and a bit now, and up until now, as many of you already know, that I do much prefer foam models. And foam models are great because you can stuff them in at any second, and they'll probably just bounce, or a little bit of glue later, and jobs are good. And this one, perhaps not. And you'll now notice that I'm playing around with a more delicate model, much longer, much further in. I'm like literally over a year and a half, maybe longer now. Oh my, yeah, almost 2 years into my RC adventures, and I've now plumbed for a Balsa model. And this is like the complete reverse of what I would say used to happen in RC. Is that what would used to happen is that you would buy a kit, spend a year making it, or what felt like a year making it, and then go out and fly it, and of course it wouldn't get past the first flight, the maiden flight, and some of it would die, or it would get smashed to pieces, and then you spend the next month repairing it. Whereas that in today's world is that I would class that we are far luckier, and we are at a much greater advantage because we can buy a wing off the shelf, just clip it together. I'm thinking, what have I got down here to the side? Well, we'll grab the Excalibur, for example. I'll just do a quick, I'll hit the camera on the way through, I do apologise. Doesn't matter where I put that camera, I always manage to hit it. If we think about the Excalibur, for example, is that, what was that, 1, 2, 3 screws back there, a couple of servos in the tail, 4 screws in the back of that end, the wings, stick those in there, 4 screws to hold the lid on, and stick a receiver in, and you're away, and screw the wings on. That was the build for that. They say 20 minutes, besides some faff, and it probably took about an hour. But in reality, these are very, very fast build models. And the same for the EPV models, which you have to build up. They are, in all intents and purposes, very, very quick compared to the old, I'm going to say the old-fashioned way, or the previous way of this hobby, which is that you had to build it up from cut plans or things like that. I remember at one of the modern flying clubs is that people would build stuff off a plan. They would get a plan printed and then cut out each individual part, and that is one part of this hobby. I've got to be brutally honest, not a real part which that floats my boat, to be honest. I would prefer a 20-minute kit. I have no shame, and it might be the same for you too. You may prefer, right, just glue it together, let's go out and have flying, let's go and have some fun. And that's the bit which I like about somebody going to have some fun, go and chuck a model around and stick it in a tree, fly some FPV. That's my cup of tea. But on the flip side, I also do kind of like going fast, and they do say nothing quite flies like balsa. There's some wood, and I've now got some wood, and we'll see what this flies like. I will do my best to go steady with it, but I can already tell you that I'm going to cane its nuts off. So I'll probably be lying to you if I'm going to go careful with it. I will go careful with it when I come around to landing, put it that way. This will be one of those models which I take up to the flying club, where they got a nice mown strip, and we'll do that in nice wide open area, and I don't have to worry about landing it in poo. So this is the Cambrian model company. It's the ME109. I'll put a link to it in the video description. Absolute clarity. This one was bought out of my own money for my own abuses. There is no the link in the video description is just to the website. It's not an affiliate link. I have never met that company before. A couple of days back, and give you a heads up, I ordered this last week, and we're now Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, into the next week, and it's turned up. So no great rush. Looks like a good kit so far. Haven't read the instructions, probably should do. ETA for you seeing this model out on the flight line, about 4 months. No, but seriously, I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm very busy, personally very busy with work at the moment. This is just going to be a pet project, which will get stored on a nice big piece of plywood. Andy's already suggested, offered me a fuselage jig or something to keep the thing straight. I won't be probably using this desk, because if I run my knife across here, there's lumps. This desk is not flat. This desk was meant to go in a garage, and I just ended up using it in my orifice instead. So yeah, I'll get a nice big piece of flat plywood, use that as a base, so I can store the parts on there. It's going to be an interesting build, to say the least. I was thinking about this morning as far as glues go. I will be using one of 2 glues, to my knowledge. The first one is that I'll either be using Gorilla Glue, not the brown stuff, the white woodworking stuff, because I have proven experience with that for this office, for example, works fantastically well. And maybe some Yoo-Hoo Pour to stick certain bits together. Again, it's a contact adhesive, and off we go. But yeah, I'll probably, most likely for the bulk of this, I'll be using the white Gorilla Glue, which is, in my opinion, for wood anyway, is a fantastic glue. So yeah, happy days so far. It says, note, further items will be needed to complete this model as illustrated. Yes, absolutely. We'll be going for a great big can of a motor, nice big chunky prop, 50, 60 amp ESC, something like that in there as well. Also, not mucking around as far as receivers go. This will have an L9R in there. It's excessive, or it may end up with an X8R, saying that. The reason why I'm going for that kind of receiver is because the last thing I want for this one is to have a blackout when I'm doing like a ton across our heads. I need the reliability, and something like an L9R has massive range on it, to say the least. Or an X8R, it depends whichever receiver I've got kicking around at the time. A bit of glue, some lamb on top, jobs are good and we'll take it out and fly it. So yeah, really, really looking forward to this one. One thing which I did not see, and I'm now very curious, is that I don't even remember back on that picture that there were some snakes, which were those tubes to, there we go. That is what I was talking about. Looks like they did include them, which was the plastic tubes. I don't know if they've included the wire with it or not. They may or may not have. That's going to be curious. They have included some plastic tube to push the push rod down, but it doesn't look like we have the metal to do that. I may be wrong, but it doesn't look like we've got that kit in the kit. So that is very much a curiosity. Oh, and also it's putting servos in the wing. It doesn't look like we need to put servos in the wing because we've got angled doodads here, which will move this. I'll show you once it's complete. It's probably the best thing. Like I said, in a couple of months' time, I may have finished this. So this is going to stay up here on the desk. I may have a quick nose of the instructions. Watch this space. My first introduction into Balsa when it comes to this hobby. To be honest, I don't think it's gonna spur me on to go off and build millions of other kits. I don't think that's the reality. I'm doing it because it looks like fun as a one-off project. But I've got to be brutally honest, my heart probably really is with more with foam, because foam is so much quicker to get to the flight line. That said, we were chatting about this a couple of minutes ago. I understand, I appreciate why people like Balsa kits. For them, there's different parts of the hobby. You have people who like to design models, have people who like to make models, whether that's wooden or foam or other materials, and then you have people who like to fly the models themselves. And unfortunately, there is another part of the hobby, which is the repair stage, which unfortunately we all have. And it depends which bit floats your boat. You may like this bit, the build bit. To be honest, that's the biggest pain in the ass for me. I'd just rather go out and fly. But because I'm over here, I'm just the person who likes to fly. But I also do appreciate that there are those of you which maybe like to do in the designing. You want to build this off a plan. You want to buy a kit and you build it up over several weeks. And it's a whole experience. It's a journey for you. For me, to be brutally honest, it's going to be a complete fucking pain in the ass, and it's something which I'm just going to have to suck up and get building on, and it will take me a while to do it, but like I said, coming back to my very earlier comment, really looking forward to these flying. Remember, I'll pop some links to these flying around in the video description for you underneath. Just click on show more and take a look. That said, if you have any questions about this kit, please just ask. It's here. I will start building it over the next month or two. If you have any build tips for a complete novice when it comes to Balsa, please do share those. You can do that again in the comments section underneath this video. And on that note, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode. And curiosity for here at Rag the Nuts Off is going to be a little bit of fun, so watch this space. We will have some wood for you to hopefully not see going up at a big mushroom cloud. And I kid you not, my last time I saw a maiden of a Balsa model, and I'm not going to mention his name, is nobody which you've seen. It was up at one of the other flying clubs, and he threw the model. Right, he threw the model, it went off, and then it hit the ground so hard I have never seen, and you need to imagine this in your head. There was a plume, a mushroom cloud of just Balsa, and I've never seen anything like that. It hit the ground so hard, and it just went poof, and it was like a mushroom cloud of Balsa wood. I just remember, it looks like a servo failed. Nothing to do with his flying at all. No, it could not be that at all. And he just went in, and it was just I've never seen anything like that. So the maiden for this one, if it doesn't do that, is going to be happy days. Sorry, I'm just remembering it. And it's just one of those things that you just never forget. Poof. It was fucking everywhere. It took us like 10 minutes to clear it up. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, hopefully we do not see that with this one. Anyway, I really am going now. For myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!